Hello! By now you have hopefully read the beautifully written title of this video, and you know what we're getting ourselves into. Today, I'm going to attempt to organize my kitchen. So I fancy myself a relatively organized person. Actually, I'm like Monica level. So how is it that my kitchen is such a wreck? I know where things are, but when I'm actually trying to get to anything I want or need, I have to remove a box of granola bars and a whole bunch of Triscuits before I can get to my cereal in the morning. I don't have a ton of cabinet space in my kitchen. There's like small, narrow, but like deep cabinets. For today, the mission is get things somewhat organized. And I'm going to start by tackling the under sink compartment because that one stresses me out the most. So this before is a mess. There's absolutely no organization here. I do have my hoard of mint-scented Mrs. Meyer's bottles though. Aw, a little lady cuddle to get us started. So I'm grouping things in like items as I take them out, trying to be conscious of what I actually need versus what I think I might need in that once in a blue moon case that happens every 5 or so years. I have a bunch of stuff that I really haven't used and I just took in as I moved from my house over to my apartment. Alright, so there are a couple of other Mrs. Meyer's scents in here too. Anyway, I'm making a big pile of stuff to get rid of, and the rest of it I'm going to try and find a sensible way to organize. It also needs to be cleaned down here because one of those bug sprays is definitely leaking. I'm actually using Dollar Tree shoe bins to organize all the stuff I don't access often, and then 2 big Dollar Tree dish pans to organize the stuff that I don't need super often, but I'd like to have organized and grouped off to the side for when I do need it. You can see how I tried to use this extra caddy to stack up some extra supplies, but it refused to fit anywhere I put it, so up in the tippy top it goes. So first of all, here is what I am getting rid of. It's all a bunch of stuff that I no longer use. I try to use Mrs. Meyer's or Method products in my house because they're cleaner. I feel that they're a lot healthier. Those are empty, that's trash. These, I don't know where I'm gonna put them yet. So here we are, about a week later, and I'm excited to actually complete my kitchen organization project, finally. So this is another hot mess area. Ooh, would you look at all that? These up here are all of my dessert and alcohol, like all my specific glassware and stuff like that. This used to be organized. Hello lady. And this used to be organized. And all of this is my baking supplies. And I think that's where we're going to begin. This one is gonna be a doozy. A lot of this stuff ended up being expired, which definitely sucks. I hate wasting stuff, but the reality is I am definitely too paranoid to use anything that's expired even over a few months. I also moved a lot of those cooking oils and things like that over to where the actual cooking supplies are going to be now. This is the fun part, figuring out where everything is going to belong. All this stuff fits really great here. Things might need to be shifted back and forth just a little bit to make everything fit when I'm gonna pull things in and out, but it's still a lot easier than the method I had going on before. This first bin that I'm organizing has flour, baking soda, cocoa powder, starch, just some random things I might want for baking and can use for cooking as well. I'm organizing all of the chocolate chips and baking chocolate and stuff like that on top that is still good. Underneath that, I put all the stuff that I use pretty rarely, but might want to have on hand again. This bin I'm organizing now is going to be full of sugars. So I have plain white granulated sugar, a couple of different kinds of brown sugar, and powdered sugar. This last one is going to be syrups. So I have some light and dark corn syrup, and then I'm adding my vanilla extracts to that as well. I also ended up putting extra flour, cocoa powder, backups and things like that behind the bins. So my fingers are a little worse for wear, but I cleaned out that bag of food coloring and I found that, I mean, they're all still pretty good. The last bin ended up being full to the brim of sprinkles and food coloring. That's all I could fit in there. So I ended up stuffing things like cookie icing down into the bin of baking things I don't need that often. This cabinet, I have all of my like plasticky, papery things, some Christmas napkins, and these like dishes that were meant to be kind of disposable, but they lasted a little bit. But I think I'm just going to get rid of the majority of this stuff and figure out my Tupperware situation. A lot of the stuff are things that I can get rid of or consolidate or move to better homes. I was thinking I would use a bunch of this Tupperware stuff for the food organization today, but I ended up not needing that much, so I'll hold on to it for future use. I do have a large selection of different types of alcohol glasses, and do you know how often I use them? Just about never, but they're pretty, and I like having them for opportunities that might arise someday. I am starting a collection of shot glasses though, so I'm collecting them from different places I go. Got a couple from Atlanta from the past couple years of filming Cobra Kai. I have one from San Francisco from a little day trip that I took last year, actually on the day that Cobra Kai premiered with my friend Jasmine. Some of this stuff is gonna get shifted around again, actually. Just hold your horses. Okay, and our third cabinet down here is another mess. These two I think are going to have to stay where they are because they are my two baking carriers. So I have a cake container there and a cupcake container down there. This up here is the baking tools, which, now that I've cleared out the glasses, I have room to put that maybe here and use this side completely for food storage by putting all of my Tupperware up here. So like I said, I think food storage is going to be easiest to put all on this one side. I always compare organization systems to adult Tetris. Deal with all this. For somebody who never uses cookie cutters, I sure have a lot of them. I usually only bake drop cookies. So after going back and forth a lot about all of this stuff, I've decided that a lot of the baking tools I had, I really didn't actually need. And then I also decided that I definitely didn't need cupcake cases at the very top, easiest to reach. What I need are ingredients. So I ended up moving everything up a couple shelves and then leaving myself that bottom shelf for my dessert glasses and things like that. As I said, they moved again in the cupcake cases and such. Meet my new junk food cabinet. This is where I'm gonna put all the food that I shouldn't be eating so that when guests are over, I can offer it to them. But hopefully, as it will be out of my food cabinet up there, I will stay away from it and it will make more room for actual things I need for cooking. So next we have these two cabinets behind me, which are corner cabinets and have been impossible for me to keep organized. I have no freaking clue what to do with them, but I have some tools. I'm gonna try all different kinds of variations and resituations and hopefully we find something that works. So currently we have junk. I mean, food. This down here has everything from spices to whole rolled oats. Honestly, just like a bunch of crap. Up here, this is like my daily reaching stuff. Like this is snacks, granola bars, and then mostly breakfast food. I have my cereal in here, I have oatmeal in here, I have peanut butter, and I have like Triscuits and like granola bars and things like that all inside here. Up here is my junk cabinet. I'm gonna pare this down, which I did recently, but it already, just like with Valentine's Day and Christmas and things like that, exploded again. And then the rest of it I'm gonna hold on to for like movie nights or when my friends come over, and I'm gonna put it all in that little cabinet that I saved. For those of you who know me, my favorite candy ever. One of the directors of season 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai, her name is Jen. She's amazing, and she knew about my obsession with banana things, and she actually gave me this entire pack of banana Laffy Taffy. I have been savoring it and having one every once in a while, but man, is it a good treat. This was 110% a game of Tetris. This shelf did not want to be organized. I was hoping that I could use this can organizer to separate things out of here and make them easy to reach, or easy at least to see. But I got this can organizer from the Dollar Tree and it's really just not having it. It does not want to support the weight. And there it goes. Oh well, time to try some new systems. On the left are going to be all of my cooking oils, some spices and sauces in the middle, and then the sweeteners on the right. Okay, now we're moving on to this cabinet, which has changed a lot since you last saw it because I had to move things around to figure out what I was going to put in this cabinet. Now the can organizer is actually doing pretty good at supporting the cans. Maybe that's the secret. Use the thing for what it's supposed to be used for. So, turns out all of my canned goods have actually gone bad. So, this is all I have left. I'm actually going to put all the spare spices, which I have displayed on the side of my fridge in these cute little tin dispenser thingies. These are all of the extras that fill those up. So, I think I'm gonna fit this back in that corner back there. This cabinet down here also felt impossible to organize, but I put things away into these little dispensers like my granola, my cereal, and Triscuits, and that made it a little bit easier. So I transferred everything into these little containers. I'm going to put some stuff in here. The less healthy for us stuff. White rice, plain white pasta, and plain white orzo pasta will go back in here, into the corner, and that's gonna have to work. Alright, I have to be honest and show you guys the insanity that we're working with right now. All that's my junk food that needs to go elsewhere or go in the trash. There's a bunch of empty containers, and then a bunch of food that has gone bad. I feel horrible about it, but I'm hoping that this new organization process has shown me what all the food I have, and it won't happen like this again. I am going to not do a ton in this cabinet, but I just thought I could spruce up a couple things. This is where all my appliances are, but there are a couple things that could do with some organizing, so let's figure that out. So I said I didn't want to do a lot of organizing on this one, and then I ended up moving around just about everything. Next up, we have this cabinet up here, which has become a complete catch-all. I have no clue how I'm gonna organize this thing. I feel like this cabinet somehow became the junk drawer of my house, although I have one of those too. Maybe we'll get to organizing that one in a different video. I ended up moving those hand towels and that little drawer system from the cabinet on my left to this cabinet, as it just made more sense. Okay, so I think we're getting towards the end. Hi, lady. She thinks every time I sit on the floor it's to play with her. This is kind of another like miscellaneous crap collecting cabinet. It's where I keep all of my extras and like bulk for like paper towels and stuff. But I need somewhere to put the Oster like floor mopping system thing I got, the big bucket. So I'm hoping I can clear out enough of this stuff, just organize it to put stuff there. Here we are in another floor cabinet thing, which means lady still thinks it's playtime. Okay, so let's organize what we've got under here. It's really not a crazy mess as it is. It doesn't really bother me. Really, the only things I want to organize are the pot lids. That's the main thing that gets on my nerves. So let's see if we can make that happen. I lied, I also wanted to organize the cutting boards if I can. Well, that's not gonna work. Most of these items came from the Dollar Tree, although a lot of the organizing bins I used actually came from Daiso, the Japanese dollar store, and a couple of things came from Target. I will try to link whatever I can find in the description box below. This organization project was super fun for me, super cleansing, calming, and I feel very confident about my space now. I'm excited to see what impacts it has on the way that I actually live my daily life. I hope this video was fun for you to watch. Maybe it'll inspire you to get up and organize that space you've been putting off, or maybe you'll even get some ideas on some small space organization. We definitely had to get creative. Anyway, I hope you had fun watching. Like this video, comment below, and subscribe for more videos like this and all kinds of other crazy stuff that I get up to. Thanks for watching.